Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, alongside my co-host Tyler. And in today's episode, we have another very special co-host as a guest. We have DJ Magic Matt, also known as Matt Rios. And he's coming into the show right now. So, Matt, welcome to the show.
Welcome aboard.
Hello, boys.
So today's going to be another fun episode. We're going to be talking about some MLB and NHL to start off, and then we'll get into our athletic experiences. We're all athletes right now, right here. So we'll get into that and share some stories. It's just gonna be a chill episode. So how are you boys doing? How are you boys doing?
It's been quite a day. We experienced a derecho. There was a big storm today. The sirens went off. We were in the pool. We came inside, obviously.
Tornado sirens went off.
Riders of the storm right here. We wrote it out.
That is true.
Tornado watch, too.
Mm-hmm.
Tornado
Warning, not a watch.
Yeah, it was a warning.
Oh, yeah,
Sirens
warning.
went
That's
off.
right.
The sirens
right.
went off, and it was crazy. It escalated so quickly. It was like 5 minutes late. 5 minutes before, it was nothing, and then it just rolled through.
Yeah, it was weird.
And
then the sun came out.
And then we jumped in the pool literally right as the tornado sirens were going off, so we had to come inside. So, but then we got some 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 basketball going with my brother. So
That was fun.
that was fun. And now we're here.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun
It's
day.
been a great day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go to your trailer house today, but
Yeah.
it's for the better because
No,
there's going to
we
be a
would have
storm.
died if we went there.
Rescheduling is the best possible thing.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll make up for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll go on when it's safe.
Yeah, exactly. It was not safe today.
Oh, no.
So, how are you boys doing? Like, how do you think sports is going? Like, we have NBA, NFL is going to be coming up soon. MLB, NHL, MLB's going on right now. So, like, how do you boys think that's going?
I'll start. I think the MLB, I think we'll all get into that, but I think the MLB's in trouble, and we'll talk about a specific team that has had a lot of positive tests over the last while. One team that hasn't played in like 2 weeks. NFL, me and Jack just talked about this last episode, but I don't think the NFL will have a lot of games being played, if any at all. College football, I mean, man, how many news alerts have we heard about college football going on?
We did hear a lot.
And then
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, and then the bubble sports, like the NBA, I'm somewhat confident. The NHL, I'm pretty confident because they're going right in the playoffs now. So I think I'm pretty confident about those.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts, Matt?
Well, I do like the whole bubble idea. It seems to be working. I mean, I don't know if they've even had any positive tests. Maybe a couple of some people like left, but that's on them, But I like the bubble. I think it's working. Maybe other sports should try that. Maybe if there's like an NFL bubble, I think that could work, right? I mean, if they can do it with like.
That'd be hard. They could have decided that earlier, but
yeah, it's a little.
They came out and said we're not doing a bubble, so it's either no fans at their normal stadium or 20% if the season happens. I'm not so sure it's going to happen now. How many players opting out of the season?
That is true.
Yeah. It's
I don't
sad.
know.
It's sad.
I'm not too optimistic at this point.
Yeah, just like you guys, I really like the bubble. The bubble is like very interesting. It's very strict as well, so that's why I think it's gonna work because you have like limited protocols to follow. You have to social distance when you're not in your room. Have to wear masks and
Common sense.
yeah, it does make sense
It's
and
the way we all should be living.
it's like NBA and NHL. I'm very confident in, and then MLB. Like you said, Tyler, they're in trouble right now. And I think it would be a lot better if they were in a bubble, but they said they weren't going to do that. And
It's on them.
It is on them, and it definitely is showing that the bubble was the way to go. And for the NFL, I think I'm confident there's going to be a season, but it's going to be a lot different than how like regular seasons go. But I do like how like they should do a bubble, but like it's already too late to decide if they're gonna use a bubble or not.
Yeah.
So you just gotta hope for the best for the NFL and go from there.
Yeah.
You also have to think about it too. Like there's a rule I think in place where these guys have to wear this like extra like face shield like underneath their face mask. And I feel like, I don't know, it's going to be really weird to see them, like, use that.
It's going to be hot.
That's going to be hard to play with because, like, you're, like, running and, like, it does, for like, safety precautions, it does, like, benefit that because, like, you're not spreading, like, each other's spit or saliva or sweat as much from, like, the face. But, like, you're still, like, pretty much, like, making contact with each other every single play. So that's definitely going to be interesting. But I do think the face mask does definitely help in some situations. But, like, for the most part, you're still making contact with everyone every single play.
Yeah, I think the NFL can give it a go for a few weeks and see how it goes. It's worth a shot. Well, is it? Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, because you never know.
And college football, I mean, like, you talk about the NFL going, it's very tough for them too because, I mean, from the very onset, it's been, like, almost a standstill of whether they were going to play or not. And you had the Big Ten coming out today and said they were canceling all fall sports. And then now they're going back to I don't know if it's officially canceled, but I think they're delaying the season, not canceling it. But the Mountain West Conference, which is just below the Power 5, they canceled theirs. So I'm not sure. Power 5, it's going to be very, very interesting. The SEC already came out and said they want to play.
Of course.
The Sun Belt as well. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of these like Eastern and Western conferences, I'm not too shocked that they're taking these precautions. The Midwest, even the South, I'm not too terribly surprised that they want to keep playing.
Do you think there will be college football this year, or do you not think that?
I'm hopeful, but I mean, with this news again today, it's just I don't even know what to believe anymore. I'll go under the precaution. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, when all this came out, like, I shouldn't say I was surprised because, like, I knew, like, they were probably going to have some precautions before. Like, I didn't think that, like, the Big Ten was going to cancel or, like, now, like, postpone it. And, like, the Mountain West canceled. So it's, like, all these conferences are canceling or postponing. So I think college football will definitely be on the postponed stage. But, like, I'm still hopeful that they will get a college football season in. And I really do hope for college football.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope they don't cancel it because, like, they could just do it in the spring and see how things play out. I mean, if you cancel it now, it kind of sucks if you're a senior. You know, that affects a ton of
looking to go
players.
to the NFL.
Yeah, that affects a ton of things. You know, there's a lot of guys that want to prove themselves, and so by canceling, I don't know if that obviously that wouldn't be fair to them, but I think if they don't play in the fall, they should definitely postpone, not cancel, because in the spring, who knows what'll. That's a long time. Who knows what'll happen? So, yeah.
It's like honestly, it's not even like a day by day thing. It's like process by process. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, so that's why we have to take the necessary precautions now. But what you said about these guys maybe continuing in the spring, it's really interesting. We saw these guys in the spring this past season. They got their extra year of eligibility accepted. So I'm really wondering if football happens and all these other sports get canceled, like basketball and all the other sports. Will these
do they
athletes
get more eligibility? Then?
Yeah, will they get the extra? And I mean, I think they should. I mean, no one can really control this.
Exactly.
And then another interesting point that I kind of thought of was that I really, really think if it was up to just the heads of like the Big 12, the Big 10, all those conferences, they wouldn't play. They were pretty much adamant about not playing. Like the Big 10 today, 12 of the 14 schools voted against playing. Iowa and Nebraska were the only ones that wanted to play. But I think a massive reason why they're not completely canceling it is because these players, like most notably Trevor Lawrence, who might be the best college football player right now, him and a bunch of other guys, Justin Fields, have tweeted this trending hashtag, "We want to play." And Trevor Lawrence made a long tweet about how football should happen for these guys because a lot of these guys don't have anything else. And going back to these their hometowns, it's more dangerous than playing on the football field. So I thought it was really interesting to see someone's point come across that sports wasn't as dangerous as everyday life. But I think, like I said, this push by these players is really what is holding back these conferences from canceling. Because, like I said, I firmly believe that if it was up to like the heads and directors of all these conferences, all these teams, that they would not be playing.
Yeah, I totally agree there. And like I saw the Trevor Lawrence tweet like you did, and I do really see his point because like you said, like with the hometowns, like college football is not as safer than some hometowns. So it's like they'll get the most out of playing football even during this pandemic than going back to their hometowns and just doing what they would be doing without football. And definitely for the spring, it'd definitely be interesting, but like I would love to see like spring like college football. That'd be fun because like it's starting to get warm again, and then like college football games are rowdy, so it's obviously a lot of fun. But if they don't do that and just cancel the sport outright, the season outright, they definitely should be granted eligibility like the sports in the spring this prior season, because like you can't control what's happening, and you definitely want to fulfill like all 4 years of eligibility for college for sure. Yeah. And it's just like my season got canceled or postponed, I should say, and like we could have like a season like winter for cross country, so that will definitely be interesting, and like going into like the spring for like track. So that's definitely something the NCAA is looking at. So I think there will be seasons for college football and basketball and all those sports sometime or another, sometime this year.
Because it's not even just like football that's affected. Like, I played it. I'm kind of biased here because I played trumpet, but like marching band and stuff, like, you know, there's a lot of seniors. This would be their last year marching and stuff. So like taking that away would be terrible. I know my sister's in marching band in high school, and they canceled like their whole show and stuff already. And football, I guess, got moved to the spring, but apparently marching band is not planning on doing it in the spring, which I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I feel really bad because, you know, I know she was looking forward to this for a long time, and now that she's not going to be able to do that, sucks, because I mean that's firsthand what happens when, you know, that's a result of just outright canceling. And
you put all your time into this too.
Yeah, I know. She worked all year.
Get blown off.
Yeah, you know, she worked hard for like leadership team auditions and stuff, and you know she's gonna graduate in May, so I feel like it's definitely unfair if or unfair that they're gonna cancel it totally and not even like give it a shot in the spring.
Yeah, I know a lot for like cross country and track, a lot of like the seniors I know from my team, and the freshmen coming in just outright sucks for them because like they don't get like a normal season like we all should, and I feel it for them because like it sucks because like you're not getting a normal season, and like you don't even know if your season's actually gonna happen because like anything could change, and you put all your time into this, like you said, and then you get this. I mean, we can't control it, but like this happens, and then like everything shuts down and everything gets postponed or canceled. So it's just a very weird time, and it definitely does suck for like the seniors, incoming freshmen, like anyone in like college, high school, middle school, elementary school. Like it's not fun.
Yeah, and like for people who are just entering college now and are going to like big universities, they're paying so much money, and it's not worth the money, I don't think, because you're not going to have the full experience. You're not even probably going to be in person in class, and you're paying all that money. It just, yeah, it's not. It's terrible. I mean, that's like throwing money down the drain.
It's messed up a lot. everyday life. It's basically like regulated now to an extent because of this. Everyone's affected.
Yeah, and it's just we'll all get through this though. We will all get through this, and we just hope everyone stays safe and goes with the guidelines. Wear a mask when you can't social distance, when you're in stores, restaurants, whatever. Just wear your masks. Stay safe. Stay healthy, and we'll all get through this. The better, the sooner the better. But we definitely will get through this. And so, what are your? There we go. There we go. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. Don't be an anti-masker.
DJ leads by example.
DJ Magic Matt leads by example. He's fully mask prepared right now. So
all blue.
So you want to talk about some MLB right now?
Yeah, sure. Let's get into it.
All right. So the St. Louis Cardinals have not played a game in like 2 weeks or about. So 7 of their starters tested positive for COVID-19, and yeah, I just saw that stat today. Seven starters, and I think some of the staff has it too. It's like, what are your thoughts on the Cardinals and in baseball overall with how they're handling this situation?
Well, this is really, really going to affect the MLB. We heard Rob Manfred come out with a statement, I believe it was last week, either early last week or late 2 weeks ago, came out with a statement saying, you guys got to do a better job of containing this virus in these locker rooms. Because, we first saw with the Miami Marlins, they got up to like 18 people having this virus. And they canceled their games or postponed their games for a long time. Like Baltimore didn't play them. I believe the Yankees cannot play them. We also saw Philadelphia, the Phillies kind of get canceled a little bit. But this Cardinals outbreak is by far the worst that we've seen so far. And with Rob Manfred saying you guys need to control it more, there's an extent where, it is on the teams, but at times it's sometimes out of your control. Because, look at the state of Florida. The state of Florida, Alex, I'm not – anyone who's watching who lives in Florida, I'm not trying to be mean, but I've seen them on the news a lot that their state is in big trouble with coronavirus cases. So it really it's an effort by everyone. And this, unfortunately, it's – one can sometimes ruin it for all. And with this amount of people on that team, like you said, 7 starters, it's crazy. And they could single-handedly take down the MLB season because, these guys, the MLB has been very clear that they don't want to play extra games. And how are they going to make these games up, when everyone else is basically done? So it's tough. And like you said, with the whole non-bubble situation for the MLB, I don't know what they're going to do. And the Cardinals, everyone knew who gets tested positive. It's like 2 weeks essentially. So it's another 2 weeks that these guys either can't play or they're missing some guys. So they're really, it's unfortunate. They're ruining it for the majority of the MLB.
I think they have to go 2 days without anyone getting tested positive before they can actually play again.
I heard, is it either that or is it 2 negative tests in a row within 24 hours? Or is it?
I heard that? 2 days,
okay, but
I could be wrong.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, sucks for those 2 teams, but I say the MLB should keep playing for now. If it gets any worse than just those 2 teams, then maybe cut it, pull the plug or whatever. But right now it's just 2 teams, and they've postponed the games, and it's not like they're spreading it to other teams. So I think right now nothing should really be done, and unless it grows to another couple teams, then it's all right, we should probably stop. But baseball's pretty a pretty socially distanced game overall. Just gotta, within the clubs, just gotta be super careful. But 2 teams out of how many are
30.
30.
Well, right now it's just the Cardinals that aren't playing, but overall it's been the Marlins missing time and the Phillies missing a little bit of time. Okay. Right now, just the Cardinals aren't playing right now. So
that's a couple teams out of 30. That's bound to happen, just based off of the pandemic and stuff. But that just for now, just keep it going. That's what I think. If they cancel it early or cancel it now, I feel like, I can see why, but at the same time, I feel like they could have kept going. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree there, but you got it going. Like, since the Cardinals got it, the Marlins also had it, Phillies had it. Like, what if it keeps spreading? Like, what do you do? And like, team to team, like. At that point, if it goes team to team, I'd just say cancel the season because, like, it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Especially if players and teams are getting it one after another. Like, you have to keep postponing games. And they like Tyler said, they don't want to play any extra games. So you're already down, like 5, 6, 7, 8 games, depending on how long your games are suspended for. So it's definitely the MLB has not been the greatest, or the Cardinals have not been the greatest at it. But, like, I do like how the MLB is saying that, like, you have to start controlling this unless, like, you could ruin it for the whole league because it becomes a safety matter at that point, and it's better to be safe than sorry for sure.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this before. It's not – I don't think it's necessarily about making up games because they were very clear. It's like 60 games for everyone. It's more about how are they going to make this up? Like, I think already the Miami Marlins have played the Baltimore Orioles in that 4-game stretch. I believe that's what it was for interleague play this year. But how are the Cardinals going to make this up? Because, they've only played 5 games. They're 2-3 right now. Technically by winning percentage, they're third in the division, but, they've only played 5 games. And most of these teams, other than the exceptions of the Marlins and the Phillies, have played about 15 to 18 games. Some a little bit lower because of the cancellations due to playing these other teams. But it's really a matter of, are they willing to kind of extend this deadline a little bit farther if no other team gets it when St. Louis is okay to play? Like, how are they going to make all these games up? And the crazy part about that is if they do, what's it going to be like? Like, is St. Louis going to be like, oh, we're back and we're making a playoff run, so screw you, Central Division? But it's really interesting. I really want to see how this kind of pans out when the Cardinals are able to come back, because I love baseball. It's always been one of my favorite sports. Grew up playing it for a long time, so I really want to see them pull this out. It's sports, man. I just want to see it, continue.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely couldn't have said it better than you. But we have another hot topic from the MLB, and once again, it's involving the Houston Astros. Last episode that Tyler and I did, we had Joe Kelly going after the Houston Astros. Now we got Ramon Larianov charging the Astros dugout because the Astros hitting coach Alex Cintron started chirping from the bench after Larianov got hit. I was trying to act out like how he should throw his slider and like how it should break and like how he should like snap the ball instead of like having it go straight. So that indicated another bench clear from the Astros against the A's, and it was definitely not a socially distanced bench clear. It was a full on bench clear. Catchers went at it. Maldonado and whoever the other A's catcher was, they went at it for a little bit, and it was definitely no social distance there. So what are your thoughts on that?
Not surprised. I mean,
2 bench clears, 2 Astros bench clears.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, that's what happens when you win a freaking World Series and you cheated to win it. I mean, I would be pissed off too, but they kind of deserve it. I mean, the league didn't. I don't think the league did a good job of punishing them. I mean,
I don't know why the hitting coach is chirping.
League did a terrible job
anyways.
punishing. If no one from their team got suspended and the
Yeah.
World Series title didn't get stripped.
yeah, are you
You
kidding
kidding me? They did a terrible
Yeah,
job.
that's what.
And I was about going off of your point. It's kind of hilarious that it's not even about them winning the World Series. I mean, I think it was two separate Astros pitchers hit A's batters. Like, it happened 2 times throughout the game.
Lariano got hit 3 times that series.
Oh, the same dude got hit 3 times? Okay, yeah. So this wasn't even about these cheaters winning the World Series. This was like during this game, they kept pinning them. But I think my whole point about that is I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For all you Houston fans, these assholes need to keep their shit like really, really low right now because the whole league is pissed at them as it is. And then these guys are just going out there like hitting people like nobody's business. Like, who do you think you are? Like, what are these teams supposed to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to take that? No, the whole league's pissed at you. The whole league literally stood behind Joe Kelly getting suspended for literally almost throwing at him. And he didn't even hit him. And he got suspended 8 games. And I guarantee you both of these Astros pitchers who hit Lariano won't get suspended. The coach who went after Lariano won't get suspended. Maybe he will. But it's ridiculous. How much are these guys going to do and get away with? Like, Rob Manfred, listen, use your brain, and, like, you need to punish these guys. Like, it's not even about the World Series anymore. Like, how do you suspend a guy for not even hitting someone and 2 separate pitchers hit the same batter in the same series, and you guys don't do anything about it? It's BS.
Treatment.
It's BS.
In Astros' defense, I don't think the third time was purposeful because it was a breaking ball, 78 miles per hour.
Well,
It wasn't like it was a 95 mile per hour fastball.
I saw 2 of them were directly in the shoulder. And I
Yeah,
was like,
maybe
how,
those 2, but
how
the
do
third
you-
one was a breaking ball.
Yeah,
that
the 2 of
didn't
them,
break.
the 2 that I saw, there's no way someone misthrows a ball that bad, like into the shoulder / back here. Like, there's no way someone does that.
2 of them were the
accident.
same pitcher too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I said, it's not even about the World Series anymore. Like,
I mean,
these guys think they're, like, king of the world, or I know, we just got away with winning the World Series by cheating. Like, why? Why are you still trying to
record shows right now? Their record shows.
It's ridiculous. Like I said, I'm
is.
sorry for all you Houston fans out there that your team cheated, but they need to get called out. Like, this is getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, and they've already been involved in 2 bench clears, and you're not supposed to do that in these terms, but
Yeah, they didn't
but
care.
like the teams are already mad at them, so and like they're gonna still do that, and they're get hit players, so they deserve it because like to be in bench clears because the league isn't gonna take that, the teams aren't gonna take it, and I do expect them to get punished for this bench clear particularly because Alex Cintron literally was chirping from the bench for I don't know why. So it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go into something brighter. NHL qualifiers just happened. The round robin just happened. What are your thoughts on how you think the qualifiers went? There was a lot of upsets, and it was fun to watch. We had hockey on from like noon all the way to like midnight, so that was fun like every day. So I really enjoyed that. It's like, what were your thoughts on the qualifier and round robin games?
Seemed like a big success, I mean, the NHL was really the first one to come up with a really, really solid plan. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what's happening. And really, I think the whole point of this was to add these extra 8 teams was to add more excitement, add more drama. They were almost done with the regular season, so we said, hey, why not? Let's put a couple more teams in, add this little fun little draw. And look at that, you got 4 other teams from each conference who were not in the playoffs, who probably weren't supposed to be in the playoffs, most of them. And it's like new life being breathed into you. And these teams, coming back from the coronavirus, no one really knows what's going to happen. Even the guys, you talk about, Jack, who are the best teams in the league, Boston, St. Louis, and the round robin. That matters too, because you could lose your number 1 seed just like that. And we saw both number 1 seeds play not that great in the round robin and both got number 4. So I think this is really what the NHL wanted to see. It's more competitive, more unpredictable. I mean, both 12 seeds upset both 5 seeds.
Yeah.
I mean, how crazy is that? One of them being our very own Chicago Blackhawks. Tilt that hat forward, please. Thank you very much. But this is, I think the NHL should be happy with what they got. More excitement. No positive tests as far as we know, so it's a great sign. But more competitive hockey and more excitement is what they, I believe, wanted to achieve, and I believe they did that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch the qualifying games and the round robin tournament, and you could tell that these guys are ready to play. Like, it's like playoff hockey, like when it starts in April, like it's the same intensity, even with no fans, which I'm surprised about. But it's literally the same intensity, maybe even a bit more intense and competitive, especially with these qualifying games. And it was a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait for the first round of the playoffs to starting tomorrow.
And it sounds weird saying that the qualifiers aren't technically part of the playoffs. I mean, it kind of felt like they did.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the best of 3-game series, but it's not part of the playoffs. You know, it's kind of interesting.
It's intense.
Best of 5 was a cool situation too, because you see that in the AHL for the first round, but to see it in the qualifying games, it was fun to watch. And then it was weird to see the round robin games going to 5-minute overtime and then a shootout, because it's playoff hockey kind of, and like how like the qualifying games were sudden death overtime, like continuous overtime. So it was definitely weird seeing the round robin games be that way, but now we get to continuous overtime. So I'm curious to see how many of these games go to overtime.
Yeah, DJ, what do you think about the NHL?
I love it. You know, I arguably, I think the NHL is one of the best playoffs to watch. It's super exciting every time, no matter what team's playing. It, the intensity is just always there, and I think the NHL's set a great model with the bubble. I mean, they got no positive tests. They're playing hard, like they're playing like, you know, normally it would be, and they're doing a great job. And you know, it was just so cool, you know, to see my Blackhawks with the 12th seed upsetting the 5th seed. Like, that's super exciting. And
that was a good series, though.
It was a great series.
I knew the Blackhawks had a chance, because I mean, I think I saw something that they beat Edmonton in the season series like 3-1. So I was like, okay, we may have a chance, give and take. You know, how many veterans we still have from the dynasty that some people say may be dead, but is this like a rebirth? We'll see. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but going off of your point, Matt, it's really interesting that you say that, because my brother just said this yesterday, and Jack, you'd probably kill him if you heard him in person say this. He's like, I don't like watching hockey. It's not that fun. It's not that intense to watch. I'm like, I didn't say anything, but I was like in my head, did that really just come out of your mouth?
Do you watch playoff hockey?
Like, playoff hockey is like one of the most intense things ever. Like, these guys,
it's a whole different breed.
Yeah, Jack could relate. I mean, these guys are literally checking you in the boards left and right. You know, it's
harder than the regular season. It means a lot more.
It's fight for every one of those 60 minutes. Yeah. So, and especially now, like you said, but especially now with, like I said, with these teams who don't, or who weren't supposed to be in the playoffs, you know, now what do these other teams have to do to try to amp up their game for these other teams like the Blackhawks and like the Canadians, who were the other 12 seed to knock off the 5 seed? What do they have to do now to kind of, you know, be like, oh, well, do we have to change anything up to, you know, amp up our game because this team might be coming on a run? You know, we've seen that from guys like their teams like that before.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to see Patrick Kane do a little more than he did in this series, but like I'm not gonna get on him because he's my favorite player. So
we got a lot of young guys too. So I'm just happy we won.
Jonathan Toews stepped up big time. Dominic Kubalik, Corey Crawford came up short.
Absolutely,
Crawford played amazing, and I don't usually say that, but he played really well.
He had a good series.
The defense was really well. Like all 4 lines were rolling.
Even without Seabrook.
So that's good to see. Yeah, but I expect Patrick Kane to go off this next round, because he's going to need to if the Hawks want to have a chance at making it to the next round.
Yeah. And I honestly, I don't think the seeds mean anything because the teams have had so long to like regroup, and I mean it's basically a new season at this point. It's all up for grabs. So just because you're a 12 seed doesn't mean you're a 12 seed.
I can agree with you on that because the old saying sometimes is age is just a number. That could be the case now. Seeds are just a number.
Is just a number.
That doesn't represent who we are now. Like
that's how you were last season, but last season ended in like March.
We could be a 12 seed right now, but look at us, man. We're playing like we're the number 1 seed, so watch out.
Yeah, it's all up for grabs, which makes this so exciting.
And the fact that I don't want to go too deep into Blackhawks bias, but the fact that they beat Edmonton, being the lowest seed against the highest seed in that qualifiers in Edmonton for the hub city, that was pretty cool. Like, we took that from them. That talented roster. Edmonton's got a very talented roster.
I will credit McDavid, Draisaitl, Ethan Bear, Mikko Koskinen played pretty well. Like
Nugent Hopkins.
They all played really well in that series, and it was definitely fun to watch. And you did not see like McDavid and Draisaitl, like they were getting on the score sheet every single game.
Draisaitl, like I was like every other alert, I'm like, oh, Draisaitl again, but he led the league in points this year. So again, Edmonton, I'm very surprised they weren't in the playoffs the last couple of years because they got a very talented roster. They kind of fell off after that first little playoff run.
It was fun to watch them though, even though we're Hawks fans. It was fun to watch them, and can't wait for the Vegas series coming up.
Yeah, that's who we got. Jack's second favorite team over here.
Yeah, so let's do some quick fire, and like I'll pick a series, and then you name how many games you think who's going to win, how many games you think it's going to take. So let's start with tomorrow's games. The Blue Jackets Lightning. What's going on with that?
Well, that's a big rematch from last year. The Tampa Bay Lightning had arguably one of the best regular seasons in NHL history, and Columbus just absolutely like blindsided the hockey world and shut them out in 4 games. Columbus had a very close qualifier round with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They bounced back after they gave up the 2-1 series lead after Toronto tied it and shut them out yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm going to give the Lightning the edge. I think the Blue Jackets, I think they're a good team, but I think the Lightning are going to pull this one out, and I'll go 5 games, but I think they might be pretty close. I think Columbus will give them a run for their money, but it'll be 5 games. Tampa Bay.
For me, I'm gonna go the Lightning as well. I'm gonna go Lightning in 6. Lightning got a really talented roster, so did the Blue Jackets, but I think Vasilevsky is gonna steal the show for the Lightning. Steven Stamkos, and I think the Blue Jackets will give them a ride for their money, especially Joonas Korpisalo played unreal yesterday, shutting out the Leafs 3-0. So it's gonna be a good goaltending duel, I think, and it's definitely gonna be a fun series to watch.
Oh yeah, quick shout out to one of my friends, Joshua Samoija, a big Lightning fan. He goes down to their games all the time. He probably doesn't even know. I don't even know he doesn't know we have this podcast, but hope your team does well, man.
Well, I should have did my research before this podcast, so I'm just going to be making random guesses here based off of what knowledge I have on the NHL. But I would be picking the Lightning as well. I know they have a good team. They always have a good team. Or the last few years, they've been pretty good. I know Columbus is pretty good as well, but I think I'm going to have Lightning in 6. It's going to be a close series. I could see it going either way, but if I had to pick one, that'd probably be the Lightning.
Flames versus Stars.
Well, in our NHL return episode, me and Jack did our Stanley Cup predictions, and I had the Flames against the Bruins in the Stanley Cup, so I'm not backing down on my prediction now. Calgary and Dallas, did you say?
Yeah.
Dallas had a revamping a little bit this year with their roster, but I got to stick true to my prediction. I think Calgary will win this series in 7 games. They'll make it a nail-biter. How about this? 7 games. Game 7 is won in overtime. I'm going extra bold right there, but I cannot back down on the Flames.
Yeah, I got I'm gonna go Stars.
Ah,
I'm gonna go Stars winning 7.
Okay.
It's gonna be regulation. Stars, I think they played okay in the round robin, but like I definitely think the Stars will bounce back and they're gonna put Flames. They're gonna give the Flames a ride for their money. And
they get 2 or 3.
Hmm?
Did the Stars get 2 or 3?
2, I believe.
2.
No, 3.
Okay.
So Stars in 7, I say.
Yeah, these teams I don't really know very much, but I saw some highlights on the Stars. They look pretty good. Like I'm sure Calgary's also. What's Calgary's seed?
They're
I think 9 or 8, right? Them and Winnipeg were the 9-8 matchup.
yeah.
Okay.
So they're 8.
Okay. I'm probably gonna say Stars, but remember, seed's just a number, so it's probably gonna be
That is true.
I can see Calgary pulling this off.
All right, you're on.
I can also see Dallas pulling this
You're
off.
on. I got the Flames in the
Alright.
Stanley Cup. So
Yeah, the Flames in the Stanley Cup. Wow.
that was my prediction. I can't
Okay.
go back on it now.
Mhm.
I cannot go back.
Well, I gotta go against you. Then I gotta go Stars and oh no.
Another one seed that got disappointed in the first round last year. Calgary and Tampa Bay.
Oh,
Both
that's
got
true.
disappointed in the first round. When do you ever see both first seeds go out in the first round? Crazy.
True.
That is true.
So
To
I
Colorado.
think I gotta make this one a nail biter as well. 7 games. Stars in 7. It's gonna be a BS ending. Something stupid will happen.
All right. I see. I'm the
You'll be
lone.
mad,
I'm
and then
the
I'll be
lone-
like, I called.
I'm the lone wolf here. I
That's
see.
all right.
I see.
All right.
It's you gotta take positive risks.
They Hurricanes Bruins. Hurricanes had a fantastic first qualifying
Oh
round.
yeah, they kicked the crap out of a average Rangers team. Even though I think Carolina, you're right, had a great qualifier round. I watched, I think, the first game with Jack. Boston was in my Stanley Cup, and they were the best team in the regular season. They've been consistently the best teams the last couple of years. They were, I think, the best team last year, and they made the Stanley Cup. So I think Boston wins this one. I'll go 6 games here. Carolina, like I said, they played good, but I don't know, man. Just Boston was the best in the regular series, even though they played not so great in the qualifier round. I think they still will have that. Carolina will still have that little bit of a fear factor about playing them again because I think they got shut out last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, that series was not close.
Yeah, this one's gonna be an easy one for me. Hurricanes in 4. Hurricanes gonna go for the sweep.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
they're
I see
playing
those.
really good
See
right
those.
now. They're a bunch of jerks, as their slogan is, and they got young guys, Sebastian Aho. They got 2 great goalies.
Teravainen.
They got Teravainen as well. They got
Good
Peter
job, Whitehawks.
Mrazek, James Reimer. They both played last series, and they both played fantastic. So it's going to be a good series. I'm just going to take Hurricanes in 4.
I don't know if I'm gonna bet this. I don't think it's be that easy. It's good. I mean, these are 2 really good teams, and I think it's going 7. But as who the winner is, this is tough. I'm gonna say the Bruins because Bruins are usually pretty good in the playoffs. I don't know about the Hurricanes. I feel like they get knocked out early.
Last year they picked it up, but like I said, in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was shut out city by Boston.
It was.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Like you said, man, seed
doesn't matter.
See, it doesn't
we'll
matter.
see.
It's gonna be a great series.
And now this series, Blackhawks, Golden Knights.
Okay.
I say Hawks in 7. I think it's going to be a nail biter all the way to the finish. Not because they're my 2 favorite teams, but like just like from the load of like their offense, their offensive loaded. Both sides are loaded offensively, and they're both solid defensively. I think Vegas has the edge defensively over them. And it'll definitely be an interesting goaltending duo, assuming Crawford gets to start since he played all games in the qualifier round against Edmonton. And then I want to say Robin Leonard's going to start for Vegas. So it's going to be a interesting matchup because the Hawks traded Leonard right before the trade deadline. So it's going to be Leonard's going to try to prove to the Hawks that they should not have traded him. And I think it's going to be Hawks in 7.
Oh, God, this is really, really tough. I think this is going 7 games as well. Just it's both ways, honestly. Just something about the way the Blackhawks came together and just really, really handled Edmonton as that 12 seed, as that major underdog. Again, no bias here. That takes some guts, and it takes some courage to go out there, chip on your shoulder, trying to prove that, hey, we do belong. But I think, again, this is going to come down to 7 games. Vegas obviously played really, really well in the qualifying round. They did get the number 1 seed. Obviously, they have a very, very talented team. I really do think, though, this is going to come down to goaltending. It's the biggest difference. And unfortunately, I do feel like Vegas has the edge at goaltending. So I think they have 2 starting goalies. Let's be honest. Like, Marc-Andre Fleury, still top-notch goalie. Like you said, I remember how angry Jack was in that episode about the Hawks trading Robin Leonard. Robin Leonard won goalie of the year for the Islanders. I believe it was last year, 2 years ago. But I really do think it's going to come down to goaltending. I don't want to do this, but I think the Golden Knights will win in 7 games, and I feel like they'll do it. Down 3-2, they'll use both of their goalies in those last 2 games, kind of get them fresh. But unfortunately, like I said, if the Hawks didn't trade Leonard, I'd give him the series. But I really do think it comes down to the Golden Knights having 2 really, really good goalies. I couldn't
quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
Shut up.
We'll cut that out.
Siri.
So, what's yours?
Me? Man, well, Vegas is good. No cap. Vegas is good. Vegas is a great team. I really like the way that Chicago played in the last round. And if they want to beat this Vegas team, they're really going to have to pull it together. They're going to have to play as hard as or even harder than they played in the last round. And I think, if Crawford's on his A game, like, we talk about goalies and stuff, it's definitely going to come down to goalies. If Crawford's on his A game and some other people step up, like really step up, names that we didn't hear a lot in the first round or the qualifying round, I think the Blackhawks definitely have a shot at it. But it's definitely going to 7. It's gonna be a nail biter. Every night's gonna be
couple overtime games, maybe double, triple overtime.
Get us like
I'm gonna
dying.
have some anxiety issues in the next couple of weeks.
Back to the dynasty days.
Yeah, I've been through a lot with the Blackhawks.
We have been,
but this is tough because I know.
Is it? I think it's a heart or gut situation, right?
Yeah, because of course I'm going to say I want the Blackhawks to win, but
what's realistic?
Going with your heart or going with your gut? Or does your heart and your gut think the same thing?
Realistically, I think Vegas has a better chance of winning. I hate to say it. It makes me mad. It's going to be a close series. I wouldn't be surprised if the Blackhawks won, but if Vegas won, then hopefully it's a good fight.
I wouldn't be sad if Vegas won.
Yeah.
What?
They're my
discrediting Chicago.
No, I'm not discrediting Chicago. If the Hawks win, I'm gonna be happy. If Vegas wins, I'll also be happy.
Well, it's Chicago, so I'll still be sad. Unless it's the White Sox. I don't care about the White Sox.
All right, so Islanders Capitals. I say Capitals in 6. Capitals in 6. I think Ovi, Kuznetsov, they're all gonna be on the game. They're all gonna come to work, and the Capitals are gonna just hammer the Islanders in 6.
I think that for some reason this is not a hard one. I think the hammer thing is an accurate description, but I'm going Capitals in the sweep.
Wow.
I'm done. Sorry, Islanders. Capitals have been good in the playoffs the last couple of years, so I'm sorry, New York Islanders. Islander fans, I just think Washington will find a way, man. Sweeperama.
I'm definitely taking Washington. They're a solid team every year. How could I not take them? I don't even know how good the Islanders are. I just know they're probably not as good as the Capitals. So I'll tell you 5 games.
All right, so Coyotes Avalanche.
Ooh, that's tough.
I say Coyotes in 7. Coyotes, another surprising team to make it that I felt like to make it out of the qualifying round. And Arizona looked really good. And the Avs look good as well, but I think the Coyotes will definitely have the edge. Darcy Kemper played out of his mind last series. So, and a bunch of the players stepped up big time for the Yotes. So, I say Coyotes are going to win it in 7. Coyotes in 7.
This is another interesting one. I'm really hearing Coyotes and playoffs in the same sentence. They've been like the Cleveland Browns, the whatchamacallit of the NBA. No, not the NBA.
Whoa.
No, I'm saying
Cap,
okay.
Cap.
I'm trying to think of the
Cap.
NBA team. They've been like the Cleveland Browns of the NFL.
There we go.
They've been like the Phoenix Suns of the NBA. Bottom line is they've been bottom tier of the NHL for a long time now. So hearing them in the playoffs is really interesting. I know they got our old defenseman Jalmerson and then Darcy Kemper. That's all I really know about Arizona. I almost said Phoenix.
Phoenix Coyotes.
The Avalanche were a team that I was really looking at this year for possible another breakout.
The Avs were the number two seed, even though seeds probably don't matter.
The very, very young team. Nathan McKinnon is a really, really good player, and they've got a bunch of young guys. And I've heard a lot of people
Cale Makar.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good stuff about them. That watch out. This could be one of the teams that breaks out and is like, oh, Colorado. Even though I do think Arizona will give them a run for their money, I think Colorado it's young. It's a young group, but they mesh well together, and I think that'll propel them ahead. So I'm gonna go Avalanche in 6 in this one. I think, like I said, the young meshed experience group will kind of carry them over and I think that obviously is led by Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, I'm picking Avalanche too. It is weird having Arizona in the playoffs. It's rare. They're gonna put up a fight because obviously the underdogs always put up a fight.
The Tigers of the MLB.
Exactly.
The Royals too.
It'll probably be at least 6 games for sure. But I'm definitely going Avalanche because they've got a good team. They've got more playoff experience than the Arizona does.
Colorado knocked out number 1 seed Calgary last year.
Mm-hmm. So they're dangerous, and I think they will pull it off.
Yeah, this is another interesting matchup. Montreal Canadiens against the Philadelphia Flyers.
12 versus 1.
12 versus 1. I'm gonna take the Flyers on this. They played really well. I was not expecting them to get the number 1 seed going in the qualifying round, and they ended up getting the number 1 seed. And they just looked good. They matched together. Goaltending was good. Defense was good. Offense was good. Everything was clicking for them. So I'm gonna go Philly in 4. They're gonna go for the clean sweep.
Upset Canadians in 6.
Oh, baby.
Really? Okay.
Carey Price did look good though this series. So
it's a good thing to hear because man, that guy
he carried the Habs in Pittsburgh.
I just feel it. I feel like the Canadians are going to upset.
Okay.
Canadians in 6.
Okay. I think the Canadians they're gonna have a strong start, but then they're gonna choke. I think they're gonna win like game 1, and then they're probably gonna lose the rest.
So the CH stands for CHOKE?
Yeah. Choke.
Dang.
Flyers in 5.
I like that
man.
prediction with the Flyers.
Yeah.
So then the final matchup of the first round, Vancouver Canucks against the St. Louis Blues, defending Stanley Cup champs. I'm gonna go Blues. Take this in 6. I'm gonna say they're gonna go try for the repeat. It's gonna be hard, but I think they're gonna win this round, and then we'll see how they do from there. Even though they didn't look that great in the round robin, they went 0-2-1, I believe. So not what you want to see from a defending champ, but I think the Blues will pick it up during the first round because this is what really matters, first round of the playoffs. So if they want to get to the next round, they got to win the series.
Well, first of all, when I think of these two teams playing in a playoff series, this is automatically going to be, for me, in my opinion, the most physical series.
Yes,
Like these two teams, always since I was a little kid, Vancouver, always one of the most physical teams. St. Louis, always one of the most physical teams, I think, still to this day. So right now, another very interesting team in the playoffs. Vancouver has not been around in the playoffs very long, ever since they made that Stanley Cup final and got shut out by Boston. You haven't heard their name in the playoff mix very often, but it's interesting to see them back in the mix. Again, I think this is going to be a very hard-fought series. Vancouver on the young uprise, St. Louis on that title defense quest. I think it's going to be to the wire, 7 games. I really do think, though, that St. Louis is just going to edge them out on this one in 7 games. I think they're going to come back in the third period and beat them by, I'll go a goal. They'll be down by like 2 goals, maybe 1. I'm not sure. They'll come back in the third period and they'll win. But again, this right away, if this isn't the most physical series, I'm going to be shocked. And I got to do one of these. Big shots. My longtime friend, I've known him since elementary school, Zach. Huge Blues fan, got his cup last year, so thanks. Go, I hope your Blues do well, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough series. The teams are going to hate each other.
They're going to beat the shit out of each other.
Western Conference teams. They're gonna, it's gonna, they will probably beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
the Blues are gonna go up, and then the Canucks are gonna not go away. It's gonna definitely go into 7. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be physical. By the end, teams are just gonna be like, "F you," but Blues are gonna pull it off.
How many games?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's our 2020 NHL first round matchup. That who we think is going to go in the next round. So we're all athletes here. Us 3 are athletes. So you guys were.
We're washed up.
Well,
I'm still an athlete, but
not on the team right now.
Not
maybe
like
in the
a
future,
team.
but not right now.
Yeah. So you guys want to start with what teams or what sports you guys played and like some stories and experience you guys had, because mine's probably going to be a list.
Sure. Well, I'm like this real short. I was a baseball player from like the age of like 7 to like 12. Then I quit going into 8th grade. And my dad was a longtime tennis player. He started like 10 years old. Great high school player, great college player. And then I kind of grew into that tradition, I guess. He taught me from a very young age. And so after I quit baseball, I kind of wanted to focus more on tennis, and I thought it was the best decision I made for my especially high school athletic career. I started on JV my freshman year, and then I got called up by the varsity coach to play varsity, obviously, 3 times my freshman year.
Wow!
And
look at you,
my
big
first
shot,
big
shot.
Boy.
I'll never forget my first career match. I was down a set. I won the match, and the whole team like court stormed and like was right around me, and it was so cool because like I didn't even know these guys. I didn't even know who they were, but yet I felt like I knew them because they were like so like warming and like welcoming, and it's like this is like my team, It's like it's so cool. And the other big highlight, I got interviewed after that match by the Daily Herald.
Whoa!
How was that?
It was cool. I was like, it's on my grandparents' fridge, and every time I go to their house, I look at it and I'm like, man, that's so cool. I got interviewed.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot over here.
It was really, really awesome. And then after my freshman year, I went full time for varsity. Unfortunately, my sophomore and junior year, I made the state qualifying match, came up short. And both of those times did not play good at all, those 2 matches. And then my senior year, I kind of got moved to like doubles full time. Me and my partner were the class of our team, and my coach kind of put us together to kind of make a big run for state. And we got the 3rd seed. We had a really, really good chance to go to state, but we drew this team, this freshman and sophomore team from Conant High School. I will always,
Conant.
oh God, I hate them. But we drew this freshman sophomore team. I don't know how we got. They were the 5 seed and we were 3. I don't know how we got the 5. We should have gotten 6. I don't know why we got 5, but they beat us, and it was just like I literally. Oh man, I'll always remember it. Unfortunately, because I wanted that match so bad, but because I literally remember like the final point, like the lob went over my partner's head, and it went in. I heard them celebrating, and I just like slumped over, and I was like, "It's over!" Like, holy crap! Like, it's over. And then after I shook their hands, I didn't even make it back to the bench, and I was already just like, I lost it. Like, I buried my face in my shirt, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, it was over. Like, I thought this was supposed to be our break, even though my partner made state his freshman year. Like, as a team, for me, I thought this was supposed to be my break. But overall, I think tennis, going to that from baseball, was the best decision that I made. Kind of allowed me to like find like who I really was and overall like personally. I think is baseball, it's very team oriented. You know, you can't just pick yourself up in baseball. I love baseball. You can't pick yourself up in baseball, and I feel like a lot of my teammates weren't really in it because they liked it. They were just in it because, you know, they were forced to, and I was that one of those kids who was like really, really into it. And so playing tennis, singles and or doubles, you know, those guys are into it. You know, a lot of people don't like to play tennis because they say it's too hard and whatnot, and I understand, but always from a young age, my dad got me into it, and it's been a hell of a ride. You know, I have not been playing at college so far, just been playing for fun against my dad. I'm starting to beat him a lot more, can I say? Hey, Dad, if you're listening, but you know, it's been fun though, and I hope to play for a long time coming, because honestly, anyone can play tennis. Like, I see older people play tennis a lot. Like, it's not just a young person's sport. Like, anyone can go out there and play. Like, I've taken this guy out to hit a couple times. So
I did beat him one game.
No way.
Oh, I'll make sure of that next time.
Wait, is that cap? Is that cap?
Yeah, this was like my sophomore year though. Right now, I think I can maybe hit 90 to 100 miles an hour.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
But I faced 90 to 100 mile per hour in pucks.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a lot different in tennis. He's got reacting time, but overall, I don't want to keep it too long. Tennis has been my sport. Very, very thankful for that. Did not walk into it because I was forced to. You know, if I had a choice, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't like it. So I'm really grateful that I got to, you know, choose tennis, or I kind of chose tennis over baseball. So
nice, man. I won't keep this too long. I gotta dip soon. I got a big day tomorrow, but I could go on and on about sport. My athletic career. I've played a bunch of different sports, but my main sports that I actually stuck with were I played baseball a decent amount. I played like preschool to 4th grade or whatever.
I'll never forget the time I was batting against you when we were in the same league, and I'd literally pop up the ball every single time because I was not used to your speed at the time, and you made a sick diving catch on me. I will never forget that.
I don't remember that.
No, why? I do.
Wait.
I do. And
maybe. Oh man, that was a long time.
I remember that though, and it was very disappointing for me, but I was happy for you.
Wait, was I throwing fast or slow?
Slower.
Oh,
Slower than I was used to.
I was terrible at pitching. I don't know why they put me on the mound. I was terrible at catching. I like the outfield, right field. But cool, yay me! I forgot that even happened. But yeah, played baseball. Let's see, and then in middle school I did track. Also did that throughout high school. Middle school track was kind of a joke. I mean, I ran like the 800. I'm not a distance runner. Probably ran in like 5 minutes. I don't know. probably not good. But in high school, I was originally a sprinter, and then he called me up to the hurdles, and I was like, oh god. Sophomore year, and honestly, hurdling was great. Great group of guys, great coach, Coach Flem, my boy, love you. I learned a lot from hurdling because hurling itself is like an obstacle, and I kind of learned a lot about just life in general, I guess. Overcoming obstacles and stuff, because with hurdles there are plenty of obstacles to overcome, and hurling was something I could work on and I could see improvement, and I enjoyed it. I don't know, I feel like I wasn't as tired after hurdling as I was after like the 400 or something, or the 200. I don't know, getting off the ground give me your legs a rest for like a second. Just in midair. But yeah, I was a big hurdle boy. Wish I could have done a little more. Definitely should have trained more in the off season, but I don't know. I'm lazy. But overall, I ended on a good note. I think I ended with a PR. So in both my events. So. And I won a couple races and placed well in a couple invites. I mean, I had fun too. So it was good. It was good. And then I came out of retirement and played basketball for a season, Park District basketball. Downers Grove Big Boys. What a meme! I mean, that was funny. We took it so seriously.
He's 6'2", so he could pass for center easily.
Yeah, I played center. Yeah, if I was out there, I'd be playing the 4 or the 5. I didn't know anything about basketball. I was terrible. I mean, it was fun.
You did score though.
I did score some points. I had 8 points in one game. That was like my season high, or probably actually that was my career best in Park District basketball. So yeah, it was a meme, but I played basketball. I played basketball in high school. I played high school basketball, not at high school, but I was in high school. I played basketball. My senior year, I came out of retirement. Don't know how that happened, but how can I forget? I played hockey. I played hockey for a few years.
We're on the same team for like 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know how I could forget that. I love hockey. I used to really, really love hockey. I outgrew all my gear, so I don't really play as much. I should buy some new one. I say that, but I drop a lot of money on food. Broke. No, I'm not really broke. But, I spent too much money. But no, hockey's great. I love it. I loved hockey. Scored a few goals, not as much as this guy, but this guy scored like 2 goals every game. But
little pump of the tires.
I'll never forget. What's that?
Not a big deal. Little pump of the tires.
Yeah. I'll never forget my last game of hockey ever. It was just a big moment for me. I mean, we were killing the other team, but I hadn't scored all season, and I was really upset. And I remember going out for my last shift. There was like a minute left or a couple minutes left in the game. And my dad's like, "Dude, like this is your last time going out on the ice, like probably forever." With a team and stuff, and you haven't scored, you go out there and score. And I was like, all right, it's my time. And I had a beautiful slap shot, which is, I was so happy to score on a slap shot. And I remember after I scored, and I started crying because I knew like that was it. That was such a great day. We won the championship. Oh man.
You did play hockey when I first started playing goalie at Rat Hockey.
Yes, I was there the first day that this guy started playing goalie. He was pretty good too, and I knew he'll be going places.
I appreciate that.
Now in my retired days, I've taken up golf. Yeah, golf is a great sport. I love golf. It's one that, again, I can work. It's like hurdling with lots of obstacles. I can work at it. And it's an individual sport, so I mean, I don't have to worry about teamwork or anything. But I don't know. I don't know. I really like golf. I'm playing like 2 or 3 rounds this week. Dropped a lot of money on golf this summer, but I really like playing golf. It's great. Not very good, I guess, but I just started playing last year, and I've come a long way. I play in a league that me and my buddy came up with, the tour, we call it, and it's just fun to have a little competition with the guys. I mean,
with the boys.
I mean, I'm not very good at it. I usually finish about mid or last place, but it's fun, and it's just always fun to see your hard work pay off, and because I put in a lot of work in golf, and not everybody does, and it's funny to see them get mad, and I'm like, no, that's why, because you didn't practice. But yeah, I mean that.
Wow, so long for a short story.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. I like to talk.
Same here.
And I run sometimes too, just for the fun of it. I love running. I've gained a liking for night runs. When I was running, I would run around like 10, but I mean, I'm probably not going to run until school starts again, because these last few weeks I'm gonna be busy every night. But yeah, I could go on for a long time, but I gotta head out because gotta get up early tomorrow.
I'm gonna keep mine short. Mine's a list. Like I've probably picked up like every sport pretty much, like soccer, volleyball, tennis. I play baseball, hockey, played basketball, played football with friends. Like I've probably done ultimate frisbee, probably done like pretty much any sport you can think of, like, and it's been fun. Like I played basketball in like, I want to say like fourth to like sixth grade, and my highlight there was getting like 12 points in a game. I was on fire that day. Like everyone was passing me the ball, and like I'd be like going on like breakaways and like doing like easy layups, shot a few threes, and just a team overall. It's just like Park District basketball, so it wasn't serious, but it was fun. And I was on the team with a few of my buddies, and it was just fun playing with them, fun being around them. And then going into middle school, like 8th grade, I joined the track team. I did sprints and field events. So I was a 200-meter runner or a sprinter, and then a long jumper, which I only compete in like one meet, 2 meets, something like that. But that was my time for sprinting and field, and then going into high school and still competing to this day. I've been doing cross country and track. For track is mainly mid distance, like 800-mile, and cross country is probably one of the best things that I've put myself into. Like the team, like from high school into college, my team has always been a support system, and it's been fun getting to know everyone, being around them, going to practice every day with them, working hard with them, and like they always motivate me. So shout out to my DGS guys, my DGS boys, and shout out to the Elmhurst XC team at college. So you guys truly mean a lot to me, and it's been fun. It's a grind. Many of obstacles faced. I've had hip injuries. I've had sprained ankle problems with running. Running's a love-hate relationship for sure. It's
yes, sir.
Like you love it, but you also hate it, especially when you're in a race. You're like, why do I do this? It goes through everyone's mind, I think. But you just come back and it's a love, but like it's also a love-hate relationship. A funny story was this year for cross country. Sorry, coach, if you're listening to this, but we snuck in some McDonald's. Well, my coach already knows, but before dinner, we were at an away meet, we're on the road, like in the hotel. We're gonna go out to eat like 2 hours later, and like some of my roommates and I were like, "Hey, you want to get some McDonald's?" We're hungry. We didn't know how the food was gonna be at the restaurant, so we're like, "You want to get some McDonald's?" So we Uber eated some McDonald's. Got like 80 chicken nuggets, 4 medium fries.
Woo! Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so it was
for the win right there.
it was good. Our coach found out. He was not too happy. Sorry, coach. Won't happen again. But you live and you learn. I raced my best race the next day though, so I will. It wasn't a good time, but it was definitely my best of the season because this year I struggled with a lot with my time, a lot slower than it was my freshman year. Where my freshman year for an AK was 30.02. This year I was going 32s, 31s. I didn't know what was happening. That last meet I ran like 30-30, so this is my best meet of the season. I don't know what was happening though that season. And like this coming season, I'm gonna be looking for my mentality is gonna be better. I'm consistently training over the summer, which I usually haven't been the best at, but I've been doing it consistently. I've been running 6 days a week, every day since like the season got canceled for track. So it's going to be a good season. I'm excited for it. And I also do baseball. I've done baseball ever since when I was in kindergarten. I've done T-ball when I was 3. So I've been doing T-ball or doing baseball for 17 years, right? 17 years. It's been fun. It's always fun hanging with the boys in the field, just playing baseball, playing the game you love, and always some good stories there. And I just love baseball, love playing it, love watching it. It's a lot of fun. Like my last year of Babe Ruth baseball, we won the championship, and that was a fun season. We were like 16-0-3. We 16-1-3. We lost the first game, which went to 9 innings, which it probably shouldn't have. We lost like 3-2, and then the rest of the games we either tied or won. So we went 16-1-3, and then brushed through the playoffs, and then the championship came, and we were just hitting. Like my buddy, I'm a catcher. My buddy James, he was a pitcher. He was one of the last pitchers of that championship team that like came in to pitch that final inning. And like I remember him saying like, I'm gonna blow this lead, and we're already winning like 19-3 at that time. So he's like, I think I'm gonna blow this lead, but he didn't. And like he had a nasty curveball that I always enjoyed catching for, because like all these batters go to a turn and they come like straight into my mitt, like down the middle. So it'd be awesome. We'd just laugh about it, and like we're like a really solid pitcher catcher duo, and it was just a lot of fun. We won the championship 19-3 that year. Huh. Now I do men's league, adult league, college summer ball in the summer at our local area with some buddies. We just created a team and joined the league, and it's been fun. Unfortunately, this year it didn't happen because everything that's been happening. But last year and the year before, our first year we were just under 500, and last year we were just at 500. So we're getting better. Next year we'll definitely be a lot better. We definitely used to the league now, and it's gonna be fun. And then I also play hockey, as all of you know. And
really,
you do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I played hockey since I've been skating ever since I was 3. I played hockey ever since I was 5. So 17 years I've been playing hockey or skating. So it's my true passion, my true love. I love the sport. It's so much fun, and I'm gonna keep playing that sport for the rest of my life, and I'm looking to go pro. So I'm working towards that, just grinding towards it. And early in my hockey days, I was on Matt's team and we won the championship. That was fun. I was scoring. I had 45, 46 goals in 20 games that season.
Crap.
So I was our leading scorer and our leading scorer in the league. So
Flex.
not a big deal. And so that was a fun season. Especially playing with you, it was a lot of fun. We had a great team.
Meme.
We had a great team. We were destroying every single team. I'd get 2 to 3 goals a game. You would get some assists, and it was just fun.
Yeah,
and then I was forward at that time. Then I went into high school, played 2 years. I was forward, scored 5, 6 goals in those 2 years with 10 assists or something like that. And then high school was so much fun. It was a blast to come to every game, and the compete level was insane. And you just love getting out there and being in front of everyone. And then 6 years ago, I switched to being a goalie, and ever since then, I've been a goalie. And but for men's league right now, I switch off. I'm on 4 or 5 different teams. Last year I was. This year, with all this going on, I'm on 2 teams. But once everything gets back to normal, I'll be on 4 to 5 teams again. And for 2 of the teams, I'd switch off between goalie and forward, and I'd still light up the league as a forward in those leagues. I scored 5 goals and 5 assists in one game, and it was, and I'm one of the leading scorers. Even as half goalie and half forward, I'm still the leading scorer in that league, and it's just fun scoring. Even though I play goalie most of the time, it's just fun getting out there and skating and playing forward and scoring some goals and making some nice plays. But for the other 3 teams, I'm full-time goalie, and it's been a lot of fun. I played in a tournament this past February in Chicago at the Blackhawks practice facility for a cancer research fundraiser, and we played 4 games in one day, starting at 8 o'clock, and we ended at 5. So it was fun. It was a lot of hockey, a lot of soreness in the hips, the joints, because generally I don't play 4 to 5 games in a single day. It was just fun though. I met a lot of great people, and they want me to come back next year. I was already getting scouted from some of the teams for next year, and I got my first shutout, 3-0 shutout in their second game. Our first game, we played the defending champions of that tournament, so that was a good wake up call to go right into that. We lost 7-4, I think. Second game come along. We won 3-0. I got my first ever shutout as a goalie, and that was just a fun game because everything was working for me. Everything was going right. Everything was going right for the team. I made some unreal saves, stick saves on the goal line, stuff like that. Quick glove save, and got the shutout, and my whole team surrounded me, which was fun. And then third game we lost 4-2. And then the fourth game we lost 3-2. And that team was going. The team that we lost to was going in the championship, but they lost. And that was the team I shut out was the team that went to the championship to play against the defending champs, and the defending champs won. And so I guess it's pretty cool to say that I shut out the team that was that went to the championship and was a contender for the championship. So that was fun, and I got the only shutout in the whole tournament. So slight flex there, not a big deal. And
all right.
And I have so many stories. I'll share one more. Besides for all the memories I made in hockey so far, and how I'm working to go pro in the next 2 to 3 years, and I've met so many great people. I've met so many great people from this podcast, from the interviewers that we've interviewed, some of the from the pros to the college athletes that we've talked to. They've become my friends. Some of my close friends as well have been made from the podcast, and it's been a lot of fun talking to them and enjoying the ride. So my last story for hockey was the time I scored a goal without even shooting the puck down. So like it was like I think we were losing like 3-0 at that point, and or 3-1 or something like that, and like it was like a 2-on-1. I made a save, and like the puck like shot off my pad, like went like out of the zone, because like sometimes on those low shots it like comes right out like your rebound, and like the other guy on the other team like collected the puck, and like we had like high pressure like in the neutral zone, so like they wanted to like change the lines out and recycle. So they're going down into their own zone, and like my teammate was like really pressuring them, and like he made them so the dude that had the puck shot it like meaning to go around the net, and he accidentally shot into his own net. So like
Wow.
so with like high from like the pressure from my teammates, like I was like credited with the goal. So like, and it was on a goalie too. Like he shot it into the goal with the goalie, and
that's so funny.
everyone didn't know what to do. And then the refs pointed me, and like my teammate came down like, "You stole the goal away from me." I was like, so I guess that was my my goal that I got credited with. But I do want to shoot a puck down into the empty net and get into a goalie fight one day. So that'll happen one day soon. And of course, going pro. I'm gonna working towards it every day. It's gonna happen. I believe in myself. I believe in the work I've been putting in, and it's gonna happen. So those are my stories. So sports are my life. It's a lot of fun. All the memories I made have been. I love every part of sports that I'm in. It's been a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun having you guys on especially you for your special co-host today. You as my co-host. So is there any closing thoughts you guys want to say?
Yeah, one more. I got to shout out Lake Park Varsity Tennis, my head coach, Coach Martin. Thank you so much for taking a chance on me as a little shrubby freshman, and then making me go full-time after that, man. Just great coach. I'm so thankful to have him. I did forget to mention that I do coach little kids for tennis too on weekends and even during the summer, but not this summer, obviously. So I really hope I could especially get to see him again, because he runs it and I help coach with him. So
I coach baseball too.
Yeah,
you know that.
I'll coach anything.
I coach baseball.
Myself.
My old team from Babe Ruth, so that's fun. So anything else?
Thanks for having me, guys. As always, this was great. Yeah. Thank you, boys.
No
This
problem,
is
man.
awesome. I love being on the
man.
podcast. I'll be back, I'm sure, in a few
Oh, hell yeah.
episodes.
We'll have you back on.
We'll talk about whatever happens.
Yeah, so
I love the podcast. Definitely, this is an episode to check out.
yeah, so follow us on Instagram at @OnTheSpotSports with underscores between each word. So _the_spot_sports, @OnTheSpotSports with underscores between each word. Send us a DM, follow us, and check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts at @OnTheSpotSports. And we appreciate all of you guys for listening. And stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, and it's been fun so far, and we're gonna keep doing all these interviews, all these episodes. So stay tuned for those, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.